Welcome to Close the Door and Come Here, a Song of Ice and Fire podcast with heavy leanings towards our two favorite characters, Jaime and Brienne. Hi, I'm Clotho, and you can find me at Clotho Spindle on Blue Sky. Today, I'm joined with Guile.
Hey, I'm Guile, and you can find me at Guile and Subterfuge on Blue Sky.
And Kama.
Hi, I'm Kama, and you can find me at Kama Splice on Blue Sky.
And we're going to be discussing the Lost Lord chapter in A Dance with Dragons, with all our usual warnings for any potential discussions of rape and or violence. We start off with Griff, aka Jon Connington, who is pacing the deck of the Shy Maid. It's docked in, as he describes it, a mean section of the riverfront of Volon Theris. The Golden Company is encamped 3 miles south of the town. He's kind of ruminating and thinking about Tyrion's escape while he's currently waiting for Helm to return with 3 horses. The plan is to go present Aegon to the Golden Company. Lady Moore thinks it would be safer to leave young Griff / Aegon on the boat when Jon goes to meet the Golden Company. But Jon's basically, he's sick of caution and waiting. She keeps trying to sort of warn him, he doesn't know them. It's been a dozen years since you rode with them. And, Miles Toyne is dead. He's admitting to himself that she's not wrong. He knows now that they've changed. He's saying before he felt like there's meaning behind it, better, leadership. And sort of now it's sellswords and you can't really trust anybody. Kind of get little insights into it. These things kind of go back and forth in his head what he's thinking about. He mentions this dream he has about the Battle of the Bells that he'd had the night before, and he believes that the Battle of the Trident would never have been fought and everything would have been different if only he had slain Robert at the Stony Step 17 years ago. So that points back to all his troubles, and out loud he's reminding her that their plans had changed many times, and he's sort of venting the bulk of his frustrations at Illyrio and those plan changes, but it seems like internally he's got a lot of guilt, not happy about how things went. Basically, that's sort of it. That's the decision. He's like, we're going to go do this. We're bringing the boy. And Aegon, they dress him up in red and black. They bring him onto the deck, and he's got the dragon colors, as they call it, and they want him to look like a proper prince for the ride down to the camp. Scenic little ride, nothing too major going on here. He talks about a little bit where Aegon sort of feels worried a little bit about, the reception they're going to get, but you don't want to get to the point where you don't trust anyone, Connington tells him, but you need to keep an even keel about it. You don't have to depend on some people or you're going to end up like, he doesn't say that out loud, but he thinks you're going to end up like Ares, paranoid and think everyone's against you. So they arrive and he's greeted by this pretty happy to see him guy, Franklin Flowers. Interesting name.
Frankie Flowers, yo.
I know. Oh, it's so funny. And he's just telling him how good he looks for a man who's been dead for a dozen years. And I guess he was shocked to find out that he was on his way. And most of them had believed the rumors the Varys had come up with years ago, and that Connington had drunk himself to death and lists after being driven from the company. The story was in disgrace for stealing from their war chest. And he's still I think this is understandable that he would be ashamed that he had to agree to it because Varys sort of insisted on it, and for the safety of them, the safety of Aegon, to keep that hidden, they couldn't have heroic stories of him just having died in honor, that they had to make it a dishonorable evening. But then, he's not happy about being, a thief. And he thinks to himself that someday he's going to make Varys pay for that. I don't know how, but I guess if he's imagining that
there's a lot of wishful thinking in this chapter.
Yes. Gosh, yeah. It's so Franklin brings them to the War Council. Strickland, already having in his tent because I'll mention that in a minute. But the tent is this tent. This tent's surrounded by the gilded skulls of the deceased Captain Generals going back to like Sir Aegor Rivers, and
it was Bittersteel, right?
Yeah.
So Bittersteel, like the original. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. There's a lot of them, so it sounds like, and they sound pretty. It's tacky, but it sounds kind of cool. Tacky if you're going to go all out. Yeah.
Like, I don't hate this.
And he sees the skull of his because he kind of asks Franklin, "Where's Sir Miles?" And he thinks about how he had been ugly, but when he smiled, none of it mattered. It's just so interesting how he thinks of him. I thought that was
No,
kind of
you
cool.
think that we know JonCon had a
Yeah.
crush on Rhaegar.
Yep.
I mean, do we think that there was also something going on with this guy?
It sounds like it. I mean,
It
to
kind of sounds
me,
like it, doesn't
yeah,
it?
because it's not something
Live
you
your
usually
truth,
hear.
JonCon.
Yeah. Oh, and he's sort of, he's really goes pretty lengthy thought process about him. Like he'd been fierce but fair to his men, but he was always generous to, the exiled Lord John. And, it sounded like they're pretty close. And he probably had
Yeah.
feelings for him, and definitely to some extent. And it's kind of interesting to see that little peek. I kind of like that because it's like contrasting with all the a lot of times it's just these just terrible, terrible. So that was a little nice, little warm fuzzy from him. And when they finally are called to enter, he has more old friends greeting him, but he thinks he's getting smiles and embraces, but he's sensing that not all of them are glad. And obviously because, he's saying they're thinking that it's because they think I'm a thief. So some of them are going to be wary. Uh, and this is one part that I was just read. He's like, ghosts and liars, Griff thought as he surveyed their faces, revenants from forgotten wars, lost causes, failed rebellions, a brotherhood of the failed and the fallen, the disgraced and the disinherited. This is my army. This is our best hope.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about that, I just think they're incredibly misguided here. They're gonna roll in with someone they're gonna some kid no one knows that they're gonna claim as the long undead son of Rhaegar Targaryen, who is just happening to be backed by all of the disgraced traitors of the last 150 years.
What could possibly go wrong with this?
Right, what if I'm Joe Westerosi, I'm like, fuck that. You guys fucking lost. Screw you. I actually think I think their only shot was Dany. That's his only effing shot. Because she has undeniable legitimacy. She ain't being backed by a bunch of people that have already been defeated and are traitors.
Yeah.
She's he sucks.
Yeah.
I don't mind Egan in general, but fuck the Golden Company if I'm Westeros. We already beat you. That's the fucking Confederacy. Screw you guys. Sorry.
And it sounds like the only one is that Strickland who in his head, it's like John keeps saying, oh, he's just afraid of fighting, but he actually has a reasonable point, which is he keeps trying to tell him you need this marriage because otherwise you're going to what you're saying, you're going to get mocked. You're going to get mocked.
He's the guy.
I would 100% be like, who the F do you think you are, you freaking losers? Didn't we beat you? How many Blackfire revolutions have or rebellions have we defeated now? Come on.
Almost Harry there. I love this nickname for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the guy, the big idea man is there with his grand plan, and it's homeless Harry going, yeah, but we need to do this first, or that's not gonna. It's they're just downplaying it. I'm like, oh my god, there's so much stupid.
Right, and he's
so much misguided optimism about this plan.
And the weird thing is I think they're gonna crown him. I think he's gonna win for a while, and I just can't even that just shows you how fucked everything is. That
this ragtag.
Yeah, these morons are gonna really.
Oh man, yeah. Strickland at one point even says he's like, okay, we got to figure out a way to get to Dany because she might die before we even get to her. So yeah, he's all sorts of. I feel like he's all sorts of the voice of reason in this room, and everybody else is just they're really
the dumbasses at the start of Gone with the Wind.
Yeah,
they're the Southern boys hooting and hollering, and you're like, you idiots.
Yeah, because so okay. Griff's pretty much insisting, oh, Dorian's gonna join because of Elia, and Aegon then he gets Aegon jumping in, insists that he's gonna claim the Iron Throne by himself, with their sword and their allegiance, telling them that his aunt is welcome in Marine if she wants it. So he's pretty much just bypassing, which John didn't know about, that he was gonna put this out there. That okay, I don't even care about my aunt. We're just gonna go right there.
I have the better claim. That's gonna go over real well. See, this is the shit that's gonna get King's Landing burned. Is that?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, she has dragons. You are just some dude with dyed hair. I mean, no. He's not going to go down as well as you think.
Oh gosh. It's so they're all sort of yakking at once after he says his, Aegon says his little thing, and most are sort of in agreement that they'd rather it comes back to they'd rather die back in Westeros than on the Demon Road, as they call it. And Jon knew that the tide of opinion had turned. One by one, the Golden Company laid their swords at his feet, and Strickland was last, so even he did it. And they agreed to keep his identity secret until they had crossed the Narrow Sea. Then, when Jon tells the half-master to return with Lady Lamore and Sir Raleigh, as well as with their supplies, their coin, armor, give thanks to Yandre and Scylla. When he returns to this tent that Strickland has assigned to him, he's thinking over the perils ahead. We get this little moment of reveal where he removes his glove, and we see that gray is creeping up to the first knuckle. He feels nothing when he touches the point of his dagger to the tip of his ring finger. He has grayscale.
Uh-huh.
He's thinking, I hope I'll last 5 to 10 years if he's lucky. Enough time to put Rhaegar's son on the throne and die content. And that's the end of the chapter.
And like spread disease all over the land and whatever.
Yes, that's terrible.
You're like, and he got this rescuing Tyrion. Tyrion, who's got no problem sticking his dick into random sex workers, even though he's probably infectious himself.
So no better than him.
Yeah. There's so much in this chapter that it was a slog, I gotta say. And the one thing I kind of loved is that no one's really enthused about Illyrio.
Yes.
Like, the plots keep changing. What they're supposed to do keeps changing.
Yeah, I mean, what do they think over all those years? I mean, nothing ever goes how you plan at the same time. It's like it's that they're outrageous, outrageous, but
like, I mean, it's a thought, like, taking, if we assume that this is, what, is it Illario's son? Because his wife was a Blackfire. If this is his son and this is like some 16 to 18 year long scheme they've had going on, I mean, like, they've made it this far. That seems pretty solid. Like, a hell of a lot could have gone wrong.
Yeah.
So, fair enough.
He's still alive. Sure, but from these, I mean, I'm listening to these guys, right, in this chapter, and it's like, this just, oh my God, it's the gang. Again, there's so many of these groups in this book in particular, and it's all gang who couldn't shoot straight. It's all like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I mean, like all of the army, like all of the various armies in this world, like, I mean, I'm going Unsullied, and I might be then going Night's Watch, or, Stannis' army, or, I mean, I hate them, but I guess, like, the Randall Tarley are, like,
And I think that
we actually had a question.
Yeah.
We had a question from Buck O'Hare who said, what are your favorite sellsword companies? So, not that all of those are sellsword companies.
I mean, I kind of feel like, we haven't done the chapter yet, but I sort of appreciate the Windblown's ability to, hence the name Windblown, to really care about picking the right side, which at the end of the day is kind of all that matters. So
yeah, whoever wins.
Yeah, like, good job.
Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. I was interested in finding out more about that cat company just because the name.
Oh yeah,
so no official reason.
But like, there's some company where they're on still.
You want to go with the one with the good name if they're all this shitty.
And do we have any more mail, or was it?
Yeah, we had another question from Buck O'Hare. How does JonCon's gay crush rank among George R.R. Martin's LGBT romances?
Well, I mean, I wish we get a little bit more descriptions out of these things. I mean, like I said, I thought it was nice, gave warm and fuzzies that he talked about a person that wasn't conventionally attractive, but he still sounded like he felt love for him versus like, it would seem, oh, of course, like, he would fall for Rhaegar, but it was kind of, I thought that was kind of cool.
Like, this was his love of his life after Rhaegar was like this guy who was kind of ugly, but like really nice, looked nice when he smiled and was like, fair and like, okay, like maybe, should have done something about that if he didn't.
You can get behind him.
I have to share my favorite part of this chapter, which is like in the first paragraph, because they talk about they parked their boat in this, but they were like by a mummer's barge.
Oh
And like because we're all the mummers were up all night just shouting like shouting like lines of speeches to each other. Like, oh my god. It's literally the most mummers thing ever. Like I
I
just think of them like shouting movie quotes back and forth.
Right. I was like, did George Martin do theater? Is he around the Ren fairs and the theater kids?
Yes, I mean it's totally like the theater kid barge. In like the weirdly the bad part of town though, which makes it even
Yes.
funnier. Like what? So the theater kids are like shouting quotes back and forth at each other in the rough part of town. Like what?
It's awesome.
Let's hang out with them more. They seem more fun than the Golden Company.
Right. We could have got more of that.
Like, are they like secret bad boy theater kids?
Oh gosh.
I also do love how fake Aegon and JonCon really, really want to get that hair dye out of their
I really want to
they
get that blue dye out of their hair. Yeah, they're like,
They mention it like at least twice, so it's clearly something's.
well, and Jon Con's own thoughts of him. It's literally his own thoughts of himself about his glorious hair.
Yes.
Like, dude, really? Okay.
Like, boy, Red Ronnet didn't fall too far from the tree, did he?
Oh gosh.
They're
Okay.
just like, he's ridiculous.
Oh man. And on that note, you could reach us at closethedoorend@gmail.com, on Tumblr at closethedoor, and come here at tumblr.com. Submit questions to the chapter threads on the Jaime and Brienne subreddit. Follow us in Blue Sky at closethedoorend.bluesky.social. And please like, review, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and wherever you listen. And please support us on Patreon at Close the Door. I'm closing the door. Get out.